What's up, everybody? Welcome to League Unlock on a lovely Monday. Hope you enjoyed the MSI action over the weekend, because we're moving on to day 4, and this tournament has been a wild one so far. Everyone expecting Kingzone and RNG to just go way ahead at the top of the standings, dominate everyone, but that far and away has not been the case, especially with Flash Wolves moving to 6-0 at the heading in to day 4. You know, we kind of thought maybe they wouldn't even qualify for the main event, and here they are, dumpstering everyone. So boy, were we wrong. Day 4 started off with those two favorites, Kingzone taking on RNG, and in their first matchup, Kingzone completely destroyed RNG. So RNG looking for a bit of redemption against the top dogs from the LCK. And Uzi in this one got his lovely favorite champion, Kai'Sa, which we know is going to be an interesting one. And Khan on Camille and a Malzahar's back, but still level 1 here. Sneaky late invade by Kingzone. Prey kills Peanut at his blue buff, and they take the buff. 3 minutes later, MLXG has his red buff, but he's level 2, trying to invade on a level 4 Graves. I'm going to say that again. He's level 2, invading on a level 4 Graves. He goes down. That did not go as planned, or maybe it did. 10 minutes now, MLXG still trying to stay relevant, ganking Khan top. Khan dodges the Forge God with his ulti. Khan in 1v2 outplays, name a more iconic duo. Luckily, Let Me does eventually get the kill in the end, so worth maybe? Well, MLXG contributed at least 17 minutes now. Kingzone up top with the Herald. Gorilla looks for the dive, but Xiaohu presses the easy button. Oh, Malzahar, how we have missed you. No, we haven't at all. 23 minutes now. Things get a little crazy, so buckle up. Khan and Peanut catch out Let Me, but MLXG comes in for the save, and look at the minimap. The cavalry is coming. Khan throws down the Hextech ultimatum, but they can't finish off Let Me or MLXG. On the bottom side, Uzi flies in to take down Peanut. Khan all alone up top, and he dies. Gorilla tries to re-engage, but it's 3v5 now. BDD sacrifices himself eventually to take down Xiaohu. Ming knocks up Prey, and the Goon Squad is here. MLXG chases down Gorilla to wrap it up, and that is an ace. 5 for 1 for RNG. Holy moly, what a team fight. Not even 3 minutes later now, we get yet another wild skirmish, this time in the top lane. Xiaohu catches out Gorilla, and he gets popped. Way to press R. Up top, we got a 1v1 showdown between Peanut and Uzi. Kai'Sa is insane. He eventually pops the QSS for, I'm going to say, movement speed, takes down the Graves for a double kill, and a new challenger approaches. He flashes out of the hook shot, and that Kai'Sa healing is absolutely gross. Another kill for Uzi. RNG chases it down, and it's another 5 kills for the LPL squad. Back-to-back team fight outplays on the LCK's best. That leads to a Baron, and RNG would close it out from there. Nice final score, by the way. Kai'Sa 12-0-5 for Uzi on the Kai'Sa. They get redemption from their first loss to Kingzone, and they move to 4-3, tied with Kingzone in the standings. So 3 losses for Kingzone. I don't think many people were expecting those numbers for them heading into this group stage. Uzi looks amazing. 12-0-5, like I mentioned. Don't let him get that champion. Don't let anyone get that champion. RNG get a statement win, and they still look like a big threat coming into this tournament. Talking about big threats, Flash Wolves was not a team you were expecting to be a big threat, but they come in 6-0 into day 4. Fnatic looking to hand them their very first loss on the tournament, something Kingzone or RNG could not do up until this point. We got Mujin on a Xin Zhao, which was kind of a pick a few times in the LMS. 3 minutes in, he's invading and forces Broxa off Raptors. He turns on Caps and Maple. Late flash means Caps goes down. 6 minutes. Caps running back the lane. Maple tosses the bubble from the fog for the solo kill on his Talia. 12 minutes. 3-3 now after a 2-on-1. Fnatic chases down Hanabi under turret. Caps cleanses the drowsiness, and Maple is in a 1v4. Hillisang saves Cap's life here on the Tom Kench. And Bwipo with the 300 IQ hook shot catches out Maple on the way back from his portal jump. The greatest top laner of all time. 3 for 1 Fnatic. Flash Wolves now on the Baron. Broxa flashes in and gets the steal. This man, all he does is steal Barons. Huge play from Broxa to keep Fnatic in it. 30 minutes now. Hylissang once again meandering around where he shouldn't be. He gets taken down, and the Flash Wolves again move to the Baron in a 4v5, but Broxa is worth the strength of 10,000 men.
We'll see if he can pull it off here again. TP coming in. Flash Wolves looking to oh, man! He does it! Broxa, the hero of Fnatic, will steal Baron number 2.
The legend of Broxa the Brave continues. 33 minutes. Flash Wolves up 8 kills, but down in gold. Fnatic flanking from outside their own base. Broxa goes in. Bwipo absolutely destroys Sword Art. Reckless finishes off Muujin and then flashes to 2-shot Betty. Good night, Nurse, with 2 inhibs already down. That'd be all she wrote. Fnatic end the game despite being down 6 kills at the end. They move to 4-3 and hand the Flash Wolves their very first loss of MSI 2018. And what a very interesting game. Again, they're down kills for pretty much the majority of the game. 2 huge Baron steals by Broxa turns the game on its head and gets them back into the game. Broxa is just, he's been known about that throughout his short career, are these insane Baron steals, and he does not disappoint in this one. So EU gets a big win. NA, Team Liquid, no doubt they have struggled mightily at this tournament. 1-5 coming into day 4, looking to double that win total, taking on EVS, Evos Esports, who are also 1-5. So this is a bottom feeder matchup, and if Liquid are going to win another game at this tournament, it has to start here against the Vietnamese squad. And look at this champ select here. You got Alistar. Ole again playing the Tahm Kench. Impact on his known Shen, and 19 minutes in, 1-1 in kills. Yijin jumps on Pole Belter, but he stays safe with the Stand United, and Liquid cleans up Ron OP, and they would grab the Ocean Drake. 22 minutes, it's a 1v1 showdown in the top lane. Slay versus Pole Belter. Kai'Sa dashes around, dodging the threaded volleys, uses the flash, but I call cheater. The Stand United keeps Pole Belter safe, and Slay goes down. Most dishonorable 1v1. 26 minutes. EVS trying to sneak a Baron. Smithy hops over on the Trundle and mid-air gets the Smite steal. That's a tilter if you're EVS. They do a good way to do that, and then Impact cleans it up in the pit. He eventually gets a triple kill, and Ole gets the slap on Slay for the Purple Worm, and a 4-for-1 for Liquid. 10 minutes later, Yijin tries a desperation dive, but he does basically nothing. Ron OP follows him to the grave. Double lift, eventually gonna grab the double kill on Slay for Liquid. They double their win total as well as this double kill, move to 2-5, and they keep their knockout hopes alive, but they are jumping for joy after this one because they know it's only 2 wins, and there's still a long road to go through if they want any chance of advancing to the semifinal round. But you got to start somewhere, so Liquid pick up their 2nd win, and a good start so far for day 4 for North America. We're back on League Unlocked. My name's Eric. We're recapping day 4 from MSI action, what has been a wild and zany tournament so far, to say the least. And earlier in day 4, Fnatic handed the Flash Wolves their first loss of MSI 2018, and RNG were looking to double that loss total in their 2nd game of the day, and they're bringing in a sub for the Flash Wolves matchup because Kai'Sa wants to play against his former team, and RNG is going to deliver that one. He comes in on the Graves, and 8 minutes in, Maple flash ults his former jungler. Kai'Sa flashes out, and Hanabi misses the taunt. Kai'Sa does eventually drop for first blood, but Xiaohu flies in and cuts off the Flash Wolves. Uzi picks up Hanabi, and eventually Sword Art as well. The LPL boys keep on chasing. Uzi flies in beside Betty and takes him down. That is a triple kill at 8 minutes. These guys don't even have any items yet, and we're not done. Ming and Xiaohu both flash in to take down Maple. Then Uzi continues the chase. This man is thirsty for blood, gets his 4th kill on Muujin. All of a sudden, it's a 3K gold lead almost for RNG. Couple minutes later, Kai'Sa gets in on the action. Again, he eats another grasp from Maple, but he and Xiaohu blow him up, and then Kai'Sa chases down his replacement in Muujin on the Trundle. and that's a double kill. RNG gets out to an insane early lead. They grab the Baron, and then in Flash Wolf's vase, a very fed Uzi dashes into the backline and destroys Maple and Sword Art. He picks up the triple on Hanabi, and is it Penta time? Penta time, let me flash, feasts the Kog'Maw and steals the Penta. 9 times report on the Cho'Gath. RNG crushes Flash Wolves in under 30 minutes. The LMS squad goes 0-2. RNG moved to 2-0 on the week. They're sitting pretty at 5-3. So they get big wins over Kingzone and Flash Wolves, who are definitely been the 2 of the top 3 teams at the tournament so far, for a big statement week for RNG. And now they still have a chance to finish with that coveted first place where you can pick who you're going to play in the semifinals. So big week, big day from RNG. Game 5 on the matchups. You had Kingzone and EVS, which obviously is pretty lopsided on paper. EVS still the only team left with 1 win since Liquid beat them earlier in the day, and Kingzone is, of course, Kingzone. So on paper, should be a big stomp in Kingzone's favor. But EVS have put up some very competitive matches so far in this one, and we've got a cannon top for Stark. You know, you got to pick something crazy to go against Khan, and let me tell you, this one worked. 6 minutes in, he flash ults onto Khan. That's a solo kill on the best top laner in the world, who has had an underwhelming tournament, to be honest. 10 minutes now, it's a bot lane brouhaha. Starts as a 2v2, Ron OP is forced to flash, then Stark shows up, his ulti forces the flash out of Gorilla over the wall, but he chases down the Tom Kench. Slay flashes to finish off Prey. Meanwhile, in the jungle, Yijin and Warzone are having some struggles. They both drop for EVS. BDD is left behind enemy lines, and Stark hunts him down like he was on Arya's list. He flashes for the kill, but we're not finished. Cuz dunks Slay and falls to an ignite himself, and Prey comes in with the TP Ezreal to grab a kill. Take a deep breath. EVS down 1k. 20 minutes, Kingzone blows the game open. Cuz delivers 3 people into Prey and BDD. Yijin and Ron OP get blasted, and the chase is on yet again. Stark and Slay run to what they think is the safety of their inner turret, but there is no safety when you're against Kingzone. Cuz flashes in and yoinks Slay to the land of gray screens. Prey takes down Stark, ends as an ace for Kingzone. 25 minutes, Cuz delivers some kills on a platter again. This time Khan grabs the double. Kingzone mops up the leftovers and closes this one out at 26 minutes. EVS moves to 1-7 and are officially eliminated from the knockout stage. And I forgot to even mention at the top that Cuz did sub in for Peanut, and obviously he looked pretty solid on the Zac. Not sure why the sub came in, if it was they just wanted to give Cuz some stage time against the weakest team at the tournament. I don't think it's actually a benching or anything for the likes of Peanut. I think they were just giving Cuz some time on stage, and he looked pretty good. EVS, still surprised, still a really fun team, but they are out of knockouts. Final game of the day, NA versus EU, Part 2, what everyone wants to see. Liquid and Fnatic. Liquid needing to win to stay alive in the tournament so Fnatic can be the ones to deny Liquid a berth in the knockout round. NA versus EU, you always got some spicy games, and this one was no exception. You got Sivir for Reckless and Caps on Karma. Don't like Caps on the Karma because he's been an absolute animal. Level 1 action, Ole and Xmithie catch out Hylissang. He dashes out, slowed by the Olaf axes and snared by the Jhin W. Decides not to flash. Pole Belter nabs first blood. Good start for North America. 4 minutes now, Xmithie pops the Predator. Buipo flashes the Rupture, but now he has no escape. First axe misses, Impact flashes for the slow. They chase down the kill. Xmithie burns Flash when he probably doesn't have to, but they nab the kill on Buipo. 27 minutes now, some clean vision control nets Liquid a free Baron. No smite steal from Broxette this time. Few minutes later, Liquid pushing for an inhib. Hylissang finds the nasty engage on Rakan. Pole Belter drops early, and Fnatic hunt for more kills. Ole goes down, and this chase goes on for a while. They're thirsty for kills. They're down quite a bit in gold here, so they're trying to get every advantage they can. Chase him to the Baron pit. Caps flashes over. Double Lift 2 shots him for a return kill, but Fnatic 4 kills for 1 to stay alive and in this game. 35 minutes, team fight in the mid lane. Doublelift gets the pop on Hylissang for a 5v4, but then gets a little over-eager, walks too far forward. Sivir whacks him 3 times. That's pretty much all of his health. He goes down. That's all the team's damage. Impact eventually goes down as well. Fnatic tried a Baron, but they had no smite, so they're forced to back, and then it's Liquid who starts it up. Bwipo TPs into the pit. Impact matches a few seconds later. They wait for the feast and time it with the Smithy smite. No chance for a steal. Broxa goes down, and Liquid get the buff. Just another NA versus EU matchup. 39 minutes. TL on the Elder Dragon, and they already have 5 Drakes, so Fnatic has to contest. Bwipo goes in, then runs right back out. He gets feasted and goes down. Liquid kite back and eventually destroy Hylissang as well. They'd grab the 5 buff Elder, and Fnatic has no chance in a 3v5 with that buff. Liquid eventually close this one out despite a few little hiccups. They go 2-0 on the day and keep their semi-final dreams alive. And in case you're keeping track, because I know everyone is, it's now 1-1 in the EU versus NA mini tournament at MSI 2018. But again, Liquid don't seem super fired up because they still have a long way to go. But they have a chance heading in to the final day of the group stage to advance to those semi-final matchups, something you probably weren't expecting. The main critique after that game people are having is with that draft. Why are you putting caps on Karma when he's been an absolute animal on these carry champions? And Reckless, who's been underperforming in this tournament, surprisingly so, you put all your eggs in the Reckless basket to carry on the Sivir. He's unable to do that. And what is the main thing that all the analysts have been saying about Impact in that top lane is try and avoid the tank v tank matchup. Put Bwipo on the Camille or something like that where you saw he was an absolute beast. Instead, he's on tank duty, the Scion. Doesn't go so well. Liquid keep their hopes and dreams alive, and Fnatic would have clinched a spot in the semis if they won, but now they got to win some games on the final day of the group stage. Welcome back to League Unlocked. My name's Eric, taking a look at MSI Day 4. Another day, another spicy event-filled day in Berlin, and there were some standout performers. A couple teams going 2-0. RNG 2-0. Team Liquid 2-0. Probably not the team you would have expected to go 2-0 based on how much they have struggled at this event. But let's take a look at some of the guys who really shined throughout Day 4. And spoilers, it's mostly RNG guys, because who'd they beat this week? Well, they beat Flash Wolves and Kingzone, probably the top 2 teams at the event. So that's why you got 4 of them on there. He was mostly on tank duty, but he performed super well. Broxa, obviously they went 1-1, lost to Liquid, but those 2 Baron steals against Flash Wolves are good enough for me to put him on this for having an outstanding day. Xiaohu, typically it's been Caps or Maple who have stolen the show through the first 3 days of MSI. Both of them were down a little bit. Now, when you're playing Karma, you're not exactly going to pop off as much, so just got to go with Xiaohu just because of how well they played as a team. And Uzi and Ming, no doubt about it. Uzi 20-0-8 on the Kaisa in Day 4. How he got that champion 2 games in a row is beyond me, and he should not get it again for the rest of this tournament. You heard Frostgaren, she's been saying that the entire event to not let him get that champion. And I've been saying don't let anyone get that champion because she's absolutely nutty on this patch. But Uzi playing out of his mind, and of course Ming had the Karma 1 game, and the Alistar another. He's shown he can play these range supports and support Uzi, or he can kind of get things rolling on that Alistar. RNG looking pretty fierce heading into Day 5. And let's take a look at the standings after all the action from Day 4, because there's still a whole lot in the air. The only thing we know for sure is EVOS are eliminated. They're not going to the knockout stage. Flash Wolves are still at the top after going 0-2, but they're only 1 game up now on RNG and Kingzone. Fnatic had a chance to tie for that 2nd place spot, but they don't. And Liquid stay alive at 3-5. They need a lot of things to go their way on the final day, but because they got that big win against Fnatic to close out the day, they're still alive, still in the hunt for semifinals. We're probably not getting both Western teams heading into the semis, but we're guaranteed one of them, but there's a very unlikely chance that both of them are getting through. So Day 5, the final day of group stage action. Let's take a look at some of these key matchups. There's quite a few games, almost all the games, have pretty heavy implications. You've got Fnatic taking on Kingzone, and they also play Evos. If Fnatic goes 2-0, they're through. Liquid is eliminated. You got to expect they go at least 1-1, and in that case, if they're 5-5 and Liquid also beat Flash Wolves and RNG, then you got 5-5 for both of them. You got an EUNA tiebreaker, which you know is going to be an interesting one. And also Flash Wolves, they take on Liquid and Kingzone. There's a good chance that Flash Wolves Kingzone matchup will determine who is actually going forward and who's going to get first place heading into the knockout stage, which we've already alluded to how important that first place position is. Just think back to 2016 MSI when RNG got first, and that was when SKT went 6-4. They had to play them in the semis. They lost, didn't even get to the finals after putting forward such a great group stage. Not the case anymore. You lock up first, and there's a good chance. You pick who you're going to play. And let me tell you, if Flash Wolves hold on to that first place position, they haven't looked that great. They didn't look that great in day 4, but if they do hold on, there's a good chance that a Western team could maybe get to the finals, because you know Flash Wolves, if they finish first, they're not picking Kingzone, they're not picking RNG to match up against. They're picking either Fnatic or Liquid, whichever one gets into that final spot. And I mean, that's your best bet. If you're a Western team to get to the finals, I still think you have a better chance of beating Flash Wolves, even though they've looked pretty great at this tournament. When it comes to best of fives, I think against RNG or Kingzone, Fnatic or Liquid are donezo. But maybe Flash Wolves, you can get to the finals. And it'd be exciting to see a Western squad in there. But Fnatic, still surprising that Reckless continues to perform below the level that we were expecting to see out of him, and below the level that he was putting out in the spring finals, spring playoffs, spring regular season. The guy got MVP, and he's not quite being at that level. RNG was a big surprise today. They look completely dominant. They've had a little bit of ups and downs. We'll see who they stick with in the jungle going forward, because Karsa looked fantastic against his former squad in that top 10 anime betrayal games, and MLXG, his Lee Sin game, I mean, he died level 1 to a sneaky invade that set him way far back, but he has had his inconsistencies. We'll see what RNG decide to go with going forward. And obviously, Cuz subbed in for Peanut as well. I think that was a one-off game. Still think Peanut is going to start both games for Kingzone on day 5, especially with how important the games are going to be if Kingzone wants to finish in that first place spot. And you know they do, although they probably feel like they can beat pretty much everyone at this tournament. That's how they should feel, because they're the Korean team at an international event, and they look down upon everyone else, as they should. SKT finished 6-4 in the groups, and then they went on to dominate that playoff run. They went 6-1 in the semis and finals. So even if Kingzone has struggled in the group stage, I'd be scared of them come best of series. That's all the time we have today for League Unlock. My name is Eric. Thank you guys very much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow for the final day of group stage action.